Welcome back to Where Are They Now?, where I interview former Casa Grande Union High School District students and see where are they now and what are they doing. So I'd like to introduce Lieutenant Colonel of the U.S. Army, Jeff Wright. Thanks for coming, Jeff.
Yeah, no problem.
Because you don't even live in Casa Grande anymore, right?
No, I'm actually in Oklahoma right now.
Oh, wow.
And I've been in the Army for the last 20 years, so I've kind of, every 2 or 3 years, I move somewhere. So I've kind of lived all over the, Southwest, Midwest, Southeast over the last 20 years.
Yeah, that's amazing. So. And he comes from the class of 1999, right? So I bet it just seems like a few years ago, not 20 years.
Yeah, well, shoot, almost 25 years.
Oh my God, almost 25 years. Yeah. Wow. So when you graduated from Casa Grande Union High School, was it at the old?
It was. So the first 2 years was actually at the old campus,
right, which is now
downtown, which is now the town hall.
Mm-hmm.
And then after sophomore year, we moved into the new campus on the north end of town.
Yeah.
Which was different.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then so we then finished the last 2 years there and graduated in '99.
Yeah, that's great. And so. When you left high school, you went into, where did you go?
I went to the United States Military Academy, straight from high school. So I literally graduated, end of May, mid-May, and about 40 days later, I was at the academy as a new cadet. Did 4 years there, graduated in 2003, commissioned as a United States Army officer, and now I've been in the Army now for 20 years.
Wow, that's great. That's great. And so what kind of classes or activities, things that you were involved in high school that helped prepare you for the career path you chose?
So I was really involved. I was a varsity swimmer all 4 years. The team captain of my last year there. I did marching band all 4 years.
Oh, wow.
I think Mr. Lingwall was the band conductor at the time. He passed away, I think, a number of years ago. I was involved in drama with Mr. Labus, and enjoyed that. And a variety of other clubs. I kept really busy, but I feel like the way it prepared me is it got me out of my comfort zone. It forced me to be up in front of people, to communicate, to talk, build confidence in myself, and then the teamwork aspect of it, whether it was on a varsity sports team or like a marching band, or just something where you're interacting with folks and you're having to come together as a team to succeed and solve problems.
Nice, well-rounded.
Yeah.
So were there any teachers in particular that kind of stand out that you remember?
Just Mr. Labus, Mr. Lingwall, the swim coaches we had. Those were the ones that stood out to me. Not the just because I
probably spent so much time with them, right?
Yeah, spent so much time with
school,
outside of school. Whether it was early in the morning or in the afternoons or on trips. So those are the ones that kind of stand out to me the most.
Yeah. So what advice would you give to high schoolers now, whether they're freshman, sophomore, junior, senior? What kind of advice would you give to them if they wanted to follow a similar path as you? We have JROTC. Did we have JROTC when you were there?
We did not.
Okay.
The JROTC program started the year after I graduated, I believe. I would say if a student is interested in the military, whether they want to be an officer or whether they just want to enlist in any service, it doesn't have to be the Army.
Right.
Talk to people that have done it or are currently doing it. I think that's important. Obviously, if you want to become a commissioned officer and you want to go through like an academy, doing well academically is important. Being well rounded is important. Obviously, being physically fit is important. If you want to go to a normal college and you want to do like the reserve officer training program, ROTC, they offer those scholarships. Again, it's incumbent upon students to do well. But there's a lot of different paths if you want to be a commissioned officer. But I think,
those are some good things to keep in mind, because they kind of need to start now.
They do.
To make sure that you and those are very doable things. But academics is really important, right? You have to have a high school diploma.
Yes, you have to have a high school diploma. Academics is important, but also just being physically fit. Physically physical fitness is one of those things where you can't get it in a pinch.
Right.
I found that folks that work on their physical fitness and are more physically active and more physically fit in their younger years, it pays dividends as well when they get older, when they get in their 30s and 40s, just from my experience and other folks. And so physical fitness is important.
Yeah, definitely. And you have to maintain that throughout, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, okay.
And I'm not talking about, being able to run a 40-meter dash in under 4.5 seconds or anything, or being able to deadlift 500 pounds, but just be physically active, run, jog, do some push-ups, do some sit-ups, have some type of fitness regimen.
Yeah, I think physical fitness is very important. PE is required, I believe. I think it should be required all 4 years, because sometimes people need a designated time to dedicate to that kind of thing.
Some people are self-starters, and some people need to be able to do it with other people.
Yeah, right. So you do come back to Casa Grande every once in a while, because your family lives here, right?
Yeah, my mom and dad still live in the area. My youngest brother still lives in Arizona. A lot of my aunts and uncles still live. So not most of the extended family is still here in Arizona.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. So, well, thank you so much for taking time out. You're on vacation, and you got to come in here and talk.
Well, the area's just grown so much.
Oh, isn't it?
It's exploded. So
every time you come back, it's something different.
That's what'll happen in 25 years.
Yeah, and then your dad, he is Chuck White. He is our school board president, and I know he's been involved with the school board for many, many years, because he really does care about the community and the students and all of that. And so that's great that he's still giving back, and we just appreciate you coming out, and we wish you happy holidays.
Well, thank you.
It's going to be here before we know it,
yes,
right?
Yes, it will be.
All right. Well, have a great Friday, and thank you so much. Bye-bye.